This is the TFS 2013 web access page. If you've used the web access in TFS 2012, this will look very familiar to you, apart from a few color changes. In this version of Team Foundation Server, Agile Portfolio Management is possible. Let's look at a few changes to the backlog so we can see this functionality. I'm going to click View Backlog to open up the backlog for this particular team. This Fabricam Fiber team is the default team for the Fabricam Fiber project. Let's quickly look at how the teams are configured. If I look at the database team and select areas, you'll see that this team is constrained to see work items in the development area as well as the database team area. Of course, the devices team is similarly configured to see work items in the development and devices team area. This allows the teams to share the development area, but once work items have moved into their particular team areas, to work independently. Let's go back to the main backlog for the Fabricam Fiber team. This will show all the PBIs or product backlog items that are on the backlog. If we use this drop down here, we can go to the database team and we'll see that there's a smaller list of backlog items since these are the ones that are in the database team area. Again, this is very familiar functionality from 2012. What is different is you'll see that there's some color highlighting on the work item types. Here we can see that product backlog items have a blue highlight, while there's also a bug on our backlog that's colored in red. If you're using the on-premises version of TFS 2013, you can customize these colors. Another thing that's new is we can drill down into the task level right from the backlog view. On the top right, I'll expand this drop down here and select tasks. That's going to show me a breakdown of how my product backlog items and bugs are broken down into tasks. That's going to show me a hierarchy of how my product backlog items and bugs are broken down into tasks. We can also see past iterations by expanding the past iteration group node here on the left hand side. Let's click on iteration 2. Here we can see all the work that was done in iteration 2. If I click on the task burn down graph, I can see the burn down graph for that iteration as well. Of course, we can see the current iteration and continue to do work breakdown and capacity planning just like we did in 2012. We can also see future iterations and again do capacity planning and work breakdown for future iterations. TFS 2013 introduces the concept of backlog hierarchies. You'll see that there's a link called Features at the top of the backlogs list. I'm going to click on Features. That's going to show me a list of features that we've entered into this Team Foundation Server team project. There are 3 features at the moment. To see how these features break down into product backlog items, again we'll change the view to show backlog items. This is how we can see how the product backlog items are grouped into particular features. You can customize this hierarchy if you're using the on-premise TFS. You can add up to 5 backlog hierarchies plus the product backlog and task hierarchies. You can add 5 backlog hierarchies above the backlog items view. Let's go back to the backlog and add a new backlog item. Technician can check weather alerts. And we'll click Add to add that into the backlog. We can also drag that to an iteration to assign it into a particular iteration and drag and drop to reorder and reprioritize this product backlog item. Let's parent this product backlog item to the feature. I'm going to click on Features, select the Technician Mobile Application feature, and make note of its ID. This is feature 210. I'm going to go back to the backlog items, and let's double click our new backlog item, and I'll move across to links. I'll link to an existing work item using the parent link type and type in the ID that we discovered earlier. We'll save and close that. Now when I go back up to features and turn on the product backlog items view, we'll see our new product backlog item listed. Of course, we can further break this down by changing the view to include tasks as well.